It's probably safe to say that now that you're watching this, you're decided to embark on a new lifestyle. You've decided to encompass the way of the sham. Let's break down a couple rules first. It's wise to not go about telling people your intentions of becoming a sham artist. It makes no sense. A sham artist is lazy. One who lives the life of the sham requires other people to do things for them to accomplish their own successes and achievements. Now, if you go ahead and tell somebody, hey, Bob, I need you because I want to be lazy, doesn't work very well. It's important to note that two sham artists cannot exist within the same sphere of influence. We're loners here. We are rogues in society, shrouded in stealth. There's no possible way that what we're trying to do can work when there's another rogue in that same sphere of influence attempting to do the same thing. Because odds are, whatever those two individual sham artists are trying to accomplish are completely different of each other, that the whole system would self-destruct upon itself. So, if you're a husband and wife team that are trying to launch this, if you're two best friends, if you're co-workers, you have to stop now. You cannot exist within the same sphere of influence. However, there is a solution. As taught from centuries and centuries on, from the greatest sham artist to the next, anytime two sham artists are competing for the same sphere of influence, you must fight to the death. The rules have been a little bit more modified so that whoever scores the highest in a game of Tetris can also have control of that sphere of influence. You make the decision on what's best for you. Now that we got the ground rules laid out, lesson number 1. Choosing a spouse, mate, and or domesticated partner for those that choose to live alternative lifestyles. A sham artist cannot do it alone, as said before. You must carefully pick the person that you choose to dwell with in your residence. A couple suggestions. Remember, you're lazy. You want to get somebody else to do everything for you. Look for OCD type qualities. Now I'm not talking about the type of person that sits there and scratches their legs all day long or washes their hands every 5 to 10 seconds. But there are certain people that have just certain glitches that they need to have things done a particular way. Behind the camera here is a 44-inch high definition television. It's set particularly designed by my fiance. If I were to move that in any degree to the left or to the right, it has to be moved back. The bed has to be made a certain way. The toilet seat has to be done a certain way. Toilet paper have to be done a certain way. So, these are qualities that I saw in her and I said, this is awesome for what it is that I'm trying to achieve. It only takes maybe 3 or 4 times of me attempting to make the bed correctly and miserably fail before she steps in and says, fine, I'll just do it myself. Who has time to vacuum and dust the living room when you're trying to get to level 60 in World of Warcraft? I mean, come on now. So to compensate, you always have to compensate. There is a law of compensation. So you have to make sure things are justified in the least bit. Take out the trash instead. It's easy to do, and if it's the only thing that you have to do, take it out on the way, your way to work or something. It's simple. Affection. You have to have somebody that really requires affection to properly function in a relationship. There's some people that don't always need that, but the sham artist requires it. It's very easy to say, honey, I love you enough times to satisfy those needs of the person. Because if they're not receiving their affection, then the lack of you doing other things in the house are going to hurt. Again, compensation levels. You give, you take. The idea is what you give is very passive. Make sense? So, for those that are already married and or with a long-term spouse or domesticated partner, don't worry. Marriage, huge failure. Huge failure. 8 out of 10 people that get married get divorced. It's like by the third or fourth time that you get married, you finally get it right. So if you're in a first, second, maybe even third marriage, don't worry, you'll get it right the next time. Alright, so remember the ground rules, carefully pick out your spouse. Lesson 2 will be coming up shortly.